guys, I tell you what. I'll tell you what the highlight of my trip was. Again, it's not the scenery, it's the people, it's the relationships. 28 of us went. But two of my great mates who I grew up with, I've known Billy Peden since we were 4 years old, right? Dad used to go. It was the second home, which we called Peden's Hotel, the pub. Yep. We used to go around. And me and Billy have been mates forever, as well as Jamie Forbes. I played against Forbesy when he was 6 years old. Cessnock Services Club he used to play for. And we have just been really good mates ever since. And to spend 2 weeks with those boys was just the best. And I just
you wouldn't get that ordinarily, would you? You've all got busy lives.
Mate, so, yeah. Everyone's on with their life. Everyone's got kids. You know, everyone's got their own issues and problems and all this sort of stuff going on. And, mate, I just want to give, particularly Forbesy, I want to give the bloke a massive rap because for me, mate, he inspires me, Jamie Forbes, because I'll tell you something about Forbes. There is nothing about Forbesy's life that has been easy. Mate, tough, rough and tumble upbringing, Forbesy. He's the best player I've ever seen who never played NRL. He was a freak of a player. Unbelievable. We got him a trial at the Knights once. We begged him, me and Joey, please get him in, mate. He'll play first grade for sure. Played a trial game, scored 4 tries, and they still said he wasn't big enough.
Wow.
Recently beat throat cancer, Forbesy. So if there's anyone, and I look around at people, you know, you bump people all the time. Some blokes that have played 70 first grade games and for some reason got a chip on their shoulders, thought they should have done more. This bloke should have played 100 or 200, played none, beat throat cancer. Nothing's been easy in his life. Mate, he is never without a smile on his face, laughing, smiling all the time. Mate, the bloke is an absolute joy. My wife reckon, and if there's a moment for mine that was the most emotional on the trip, was that my wife always, she reckons there's something wrong with me because I can't remember the last time I cried. I reckon 25 years, 30 years, I don't know. I can't remember.
Wow.
And like not even a tear?
No.
What even
strange?
Nothing around the kids even?
No.
Cutting onions?
Cutting
up onions?
I'd really like to make you cry now.
When the wind's going, maybe. No, nothing. No, it's just not emotionally barren, but haven't cried. Trish says, mate, you never got. Anyway, we're at base camp, right? And when you get to base camp, you're looking around this unbelievable scenery, and it is a time to reflect. You reflect on things. And I'm standing next to Forbesy, and Forbesy he's got an Everest draft he takes with him and thing to have a beer at base camp, and he cracks it open. And he holds it up into the sky and he says, oh, Jesus Christ. And he said, happy birthday, Mum, wherever you are.
Oh. Wow.
Oh. And I said to Forbesy, and he goes, oh, you know, it's her birthday today. Oh. I remember thinking that, and I turned around, I had to walk away. And I remember thinking to myself about that, you know, and I think people all the time walk around, you know, they've always got their heads down.
Yep.
You know, life hasn't been fair to them. Here's a bloke that hasn't been dealt a lot of good cards. There's no one more positive on the earth. And you think there must be people in your lives who inspire you, friends close to you.
It's a beautiful story, Matty, and thank you for sharing that with us. Certainly, there's lots of people in my life. There's one bloke in particular who you guys know, he comes to the No BS every now and again. His name's John Spencer. We call him Spenny. He certainly knows you blokes, loves us. He might be listening now. So much resilience been shown. He's had so much thrown at him in his life. And he just continually reboots himself and goes, no, I'm going to win this bloody battle. And he gets on and he just does it with no fuss, and he's a ripper company. He's a champion bloke. And Spenny, if you're listening, you're all the inspiration for me, mate.
Yeah, look, we always talk about Spook on here in funny terms, and he's a trickster, but he lost his.
Where is Spook? Does Spook come? Where does?
Hey, Luke. His name's Luke. So Lukey Spooky. Okay. I've known him for 30 years, and he lost his parents pretty quickly after each other. His dad was battling cancer for 5 or 6 years. He beat it. They thought, then it come back, and Spook was his carer for 2 or 3 years, and then his mum passed away about 2 years later, and bang, bang. And he's always got a smile on his face. He seems to be that bloke who, no matter how hard things are, he makes me smile all the time. You know, as soon as I get in the car on the way home, after I ring Meegs, I ring him.
He listens to every minute of every show we've ever had. Spooky.
Yeah. But that's, Matty, that's Forbes. He even had some luck this year, but when he coached the Terrigal for their first win in so many years, and so good blokes do
You know what it is? Everywhere he goes as a coach, they win.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes. And I understand why they do because, mate, he's the greatest people person I've ever met,
Yeah.
Forbesy. And, mate, I tell you, it hung like a donkey too, by the way.
It's the Grill Team on Triple M.
The Grill Team, Gus, MG, and Matty Johns.